to welcome you here. I know we have a big contingent from Massachusetts since it's Marathon Day, and I'm from Massachusetts, so I'm watching the marathon today, as many of you are, but I'm glad you're with us. I am Janet Casey. I'm a professor of English, and I direct the first year experience here at Skidmore, which is affectionately known as the FYE. And I'm here to tell you a little bit about what you can expect for your first year at Skidmore, should you decide to join us. I know some of you are already committed, others are still trying to decide, and so we're just trying to give you as much information as we possibly can. The first year experience is a program at Skidmore that we're very proud of, and justifiably so, I think. The reason we developed this program, which is just finishing up its first decade or so, is to help students manage that transition from high school to college. And that transition is a transition for everybody. Even the most prepared and enthusiastic students are going to come up against something that first year that's going to be a little bit difficult. For some students, it's that whole ratcheting up of academic expectations that they have to get ready for and prepare themselves for. For other students, it's going to be basic homesickness. For still others, and this is a very big one, it's going to be time management issues when there isn't somebody at home getting you out of bed and telling you where you need to be. And I know I have a child myself who's a freshman in college, and I know that's been a big one for him. And it's a big one for our students as well. So these are all transitional issues for first-year students, and we put the FYE into place to help students go over that hump and to really get them used to life at Skidmore. So what are the pieces of the first-year experience? The most important one is that you will all take a course called the Scribner Seminar in your first semester. We offer 42 Scribner Seminars on campus in the fall. You will take the course in the fall. It's a small course limited to 16 students. It's taught by our most established faculty members, and the faculty members are invited to teach their passions in this course. So for the faculty, this is really fun because they get to do some things that they wouldn't otherwise do perhaps in their own departments. One of the keys to these courses is that they have to be interdisciplinary. So they have to be approaching a problem or an issue from more than one disciplinary perspective, and that's largely to get students used to crossing disciplines and thinking in larger ways about intellectual issues. So our faculty really enjoy this because they get to do some pretty cool stuff that they wouldn't do in their home departments. This semester we had a course, just as a for instance, called Sailing the Seas with Captain Cook. The students read all of Cook's writings, they studied Cook's travels, but they also made a model of Captain Cook's ship to scale. And every student in the class had to take a particular position on the boat. So there was someone who was the first mate, and there was someone who was the cook, and there was someone who lived down in the hold. And they all had to approach the course from that particular perspective. So this is the sort of thing that we encourage students, faculty, to do, to be very, very creative in their imagination of these courses. So these courses are small, 16 students. Another key component of them is that the person who teaches the course will also be the advisor for all 16 of those students for their first 2 years or until they declare a major. Skidmore is pretty typical in asking students to declare a major in their second semester, sophomore year, if not before. So the person who teaches this course will know these students academically, will have had them in class. We believe that this is a better arrangement than to assign students to an advisor whom they have not met and whom they have not taken in class. We really want there to be a very strong relationship between our first-year students and their advisors. Another way that the advisor instructor gets to know the students is through what we call the 4th credit hour of the Scribner Seminars. So these seminars are 4-credit courses, and they're designed with an extra credit hour that is specifically assigned to mentoring activities. What does that mean? The faculty member can do whatever he or she wants in that 4th credit hour. And they do all sorts of things. So for instance, the professor I was just talking about in the history department who taught the course on Captain Cook, he spent that 4th credit hour largely in building the model. And they worked with someone in the theater department. So he did a really cool project in that 4th credit hour. Other faculty members take students on special trips. We have a fair number of seminars that go down to New York or up to Montreal for particular performances that might be connected to course content. They visit museums. Sometimes they simply take their students out to dinner. They go downtown to Saratoga Springs, they take everybody to a restaurant, or they host a dinner in their homes. One of the neat things about these seminars is that there's a budget attached to them, so the faculty members actually have money to do things with students, things that they would not normally do. And faculty love having money to play with. It's a great thing. It's great for them, it's great for the students. It really encourages a level of creativity that we might not see otherwise. And one of the really terrific outcomes of this program is that these faculty members therefore get to know students both inside and outside the classroom. So they have not only had them in class, but they're also doing some other stuff with them. You know, they're just hanging out with them. They're going down to New York, they're going to performances, they're going, we have a course, Scribner Seminar being taught this coming fall called Sports, Self, and Society, and that seminar will be going to see a minor league basketball game. Is that right? Do you say minor league with basketball? I'm not good at that, sorry, those professors would kill me if they knew that I didn't know anything about basketball. But you get the idea. This is what these folks are doing in these classes. They get to know the students well, the students love it, they advise these students for the next couple of years so they can help those students navigate the curricular experience. Another big piece to the Scribner seminars is that every seminar has a peer mentor. So this is an upper division student, a sophomore, junior, or senior who is assigned to that course, who gets paid to be a mentor to the students in that course. So that particular upper class student will sit through the seminar, will do all the reading and all of the homework, will model excellent academic comportment in the classroom, and will also help those students manage the transition to a new social landscape at Skidmore. So many of those peer mentors live in the residence halls with the students. They sometimes hold office hours in the res halls. They meet the students for dinner, for lunch, especially in those first few weeks when the first year students are new and they don't know many people. So the job of the peer mentors is to really help that class cohere. And the peer mentors are very well trained. They come to the semester a week early in late August, and they go through a series of trainings on all sorts of issues that touch on freshman life. Including such things as understanding all of the different offices on campus to which a student in trouble might be referred. They get training in sexual harassment issues, in alcohol awareness, in basic registration issues, so they can teach freshmen how to register for courses, etc. These students also, after they complete that week-long orientation, they join the seminar for the semester, and they're also taking a one-semester course with me every Friday. So they will meet with me, and we talk through some of the issues that they are dealing with some of the first-year students, and I help them to sort of step up as leaders and to really understand what it means to mentor a younger student. So this is an excellent program, and one of the things that we see that's very exciting is that a lot of our first-year students get so attached to their peer mentors that they want to be peer mentors. So they get to see a role that they can actually step into as soon as their second year. And this year, in fact, I think about half of the peer mentors are sophomores. So we're really excited about the opportunity that gives to students to kind of follow in the footsteps of an older student. So those are the basic components of what we call the Scribner Seminar. We also have a couple of other aspects to the first year program that I'll mention here. Most of the students, or all of the students, excuse me, in a seminar are typically housed in the same residence hall. And they may not be roommates, but they will be in the same building. The philosophy behind that has to do with our belief that education doesn't end with the classroom walls. That hopefully, if students know each other in the residence hall, some of the conversations that start in the classroom will also continue in the res hall. And that the relationships that are formed in the residence hall, hopefully they will be positive and they spill over into the classroom. And they help students be more engaged with each other. They make for a more robust intellectual conversation in the classroom. So that's what we call our living, learning community piece. And finally, another major aspect of the first year program that I'd like to mention is the common reading. All of you, if you decide to will receive a big package from my office in the mail in early June that will include all kinds of information about, for instance, how to register for classes. It will tell you about how you will be contacted over the summer by a faculty member who will help you walk through your registration options. So this package will have all sorts of information, and by the way, it will also tell you how you might choose your Scribner Seminar. We have 42 on campus, and you'll be asked to rank your top 10. So you'll turn that in over the summer as well. And we try to give students one of their top 3. Most of the time we're successful, not always, but mostly. So that's how you will choose those seminars. All of that information will come to you in a packet in June that will also include the book that is chosen for the summer reading for the class of 2017. And we've just chosen that book. It's a book called The Other Wes Moore. I don't know if any of you have heard of it. It's by a man who grew up in a pretty rough area of Baltimore. He got involved in some gang operations. He got involved in some selling of drugs, etc. Luckily, his mother took him sort of by the scruff of the neck and deposited him into a military school, and he straightened himself out and eventually became a Rhodes Scholar. But while he was abroad on his Rhodes Scholarship, his mother called him and said, "You won't believe this, but another kid with exactly your name from our neighborhood has just been arrested." And the other guy's name is also Wes Moore. He's currently serving a life term in prison for murder. The Wes Moore who wrote the book was so intrigued by this odd coincidence that he went to the prison and met the other gentleman named Wes Moore. And the book is a dual biography about both of their lives. How could it be that these two kids from very similar backgrounds, both the children of single mothers, both from rough neighborhoods in Baltimore, both children of color, how is it that one managed to pull himself out and was successful, and the other is in prison to this day? So this book is chosen by a faculty committee that is largely choosing the book, A, for its engagement potential. You know, how much will this book really engage 18-year-olds? But also for the many disciplinary perspectives that we can bring to bear on it. So this is a very interesting book from the perspective of race issues, from the perspective of class issues, from the perspective of nature versus nurture. What is it in the environment that makes one kid go one way and another kid another way? You get the idea. So this reading is designed to get students thinking in a variety of disciplinary ways about a common piece of intellectual information, if you will. That book will come to you if you choose to come to Skidmore, and we will engage in a whole lot of programming over the course of the fall semester to bring the entire class together around discussions concerning that book. So that's the last piece of what we call our first year experience, the last major piece. You can get a lot of information about all of these things on our website. On the main Skidmore website, you just go to academics and go to first year experience. You can actually see lists of every Scribner seminar that has been taught at Skidmore, including course descriptions. You can see a list, although I think you have this in your packet too, you can see a list of what options you have for September. You can learn more about the summer reading, etc. So please do access the website if you have any questions, or call my office. We're always happy to speak to people. Good luck with your decision.